What's going on, everybody, man? It's been a little bit, man, but this is Julian.
And this is George.
Yeah, this is Off the Ropes Boxing MMA podcast on YouTube. You know, um, just yeah, it's been a little bit for us. Like I said, it's been a little been a little busy lately, but we're gonna try and shoot you guys some more episodes. Coming up. There's been a lot of talk um, the last 2 days, or actually last 24 hours, should I say?
Yeah.
But and the Canelo has broken the boxing freaking worlds. He's broken a lot of hearts, and he's about to break a lot of records.
Yeah, he's definitely put,
uh,
he's definitely put the boxing world upside down on its head. And like you're gonna get into it right now. There's the haters, there's the lovers, there's the bias, there's
I love
unfortunate.
everybody.
Yeah, unfortunate everybody has to throw in the race thing,
Yeah,
which is unfair, man, because you have people that are real diehard fans that they don't deserve that
they
kind of
don't.
information. They don't deserve
They
that kind of
don't. They want to see.
information.
We want to see greatness happen. I mean,
We definitely do.
Canelo's going up 32 freaking pounds, bro. That is a
That's
lot of weight. You cannot
yeah.
tell me that that's not a hard feat. I mean, Mayweather hasn't did that. I mean, he did it slowly to his career.
Mhm.
This will make him a five-time division champ, which will tie Mayweather, for being the greatest, and, I just feel he's getting hit on a lot of angles right now, man. That's really pissing me off. I mean, after the performance against Plant, put some respect on the man's name. I mean, the man's the undisputed champion. And like we said, I mean, yes, we wanted to see David or Charlo, but I'm gonna break a lot of things to everybody here right now. Don't
Yeah,
break
you're
it.
right. You're right,
I
man.
mean,
You're right.
there's
Everybody wanted that's what everybody wants to see, there. But my thing, this is funny. Like I'll let you say it, but I just want to say it as well. Like, yes, that's what everybody wants to see. But him going up to cruiserweight to fight Makabu, he's a legit
amazing.
champion. He's a legit
Yeah.
champion. He's he's like on an 8 fight streak. He's 28 wins, 23 KOs. Yeah, he has one loss, but dude, this isn't some guy holding intern
Two
belts. He's a
losses, actually. Two
okay,
losses
2 losses, but
recent. Yeah.
this dude holds legit belts at the cruiserweight.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they're all WBC.
yeah, and
They're
people
all
want
WBC
to say
belts. Yeah.
timing and this and that, but like your your dad's favorite fighter used to do the same thing. You
Exactly.
know,
I mean, this
this is
goes
just how
out to a lot
boxing
of people.
is. Yeah. All
That
right,
goes
go
out
ahead,
to a lot
bro.
of people.
Go ahead, break
No,
your
I'm
silence
just
for us. Go
not,
ahead and
not
tell us.
saying that goes out to a lot of people, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But like a lot of people are talking shit. I mean, Dan Rafael pretty much hit it on the freaking nose today. That a lot of your fighters, what are they doing right now? They're doing a lot of this, a lot of
Very
this,
true.
a lot of, there's no barking, there's no biting right now.
Very, very true.
I mean, me personally, yes, I did want to see David and him, but I'm gonna let everybody know this. After this fight in May, Canelo will be fighting in September again, and he will be back down to 168 or 175. There's actually a thing right now too. They're going to be 168 between 178, 168, 175. But we all know Charlo's scared. He's scared of the boy. He won't do it. David, yes, he will get a shot, but Canelo will fight the number one mandatory super middleweight in September. And his first fight in September in 4 years, or in
Yeah.
four, well, it'll be 4 years next year. And I mean, it's just like I said, everybody's hitting him at angles right now. That's just like, hey, like, I mean, the man's going up 2 weight classes. I mean, are you trying to say that that Earl Spence is great because he beat a smaller Mikey Garcia? I mean, you can use examples like that all the time. I mean, this has happened. I mean, Roy Jones did the same thing what's his name?
John Ortiz.
Yeah, John Ortiz. Yeah, I
and
mean,
and,
did the
and
same
he's
thing there.
yeah, it just look at the Ortiz was a good fighter. He was a good fighter,
But he
but
was at an end.
yeah, it was like this. Like when Baldomir fought Mayweather, like people were like, okay, you have the two sides to it. People were like, oh wow, he actually beat Zab Judah twice. He did this, he did that. So Mayweather, he was fighting the dangerous fighters. Like, dude, no, like you guys are complaining now that Canelo is picking the right opponent at the right time. But like I said, your dad's favorite fighter used to do the same thing. And this is all they're doing is they're reciprocating the same thing.
Yes,
And
they are.
with Roy Jones fighting Ortiz back in the day, Ruiz, I'm sorry, it's John
Reese, yeah,
Ruiz.
John Reese, yeah.
Yeah, John Ruiz. And he was kind of like the heavyweight of Carlos Baldemir. Like, yeah, he beat somebody. I remember who he beat, but he beat somebody that he shouldn't have beat. He got the bout. The bouts changed hands, and it was just perfect timing for Roy Jones to
Yes, it
fight this
was.
opponent, just like this one. And people are yelling, "Oh, yeah, I would love to see the Charlo and Benavides and the Better Beas, the Bivals, the Andrades, all those." But this is what people are missing. So yes, he fought Caleb Plant. Yes, he fought Smith. Yes, he fought Billy Joe Saunders. But who did these guys beat? Who did these guys beat to get that belt? You know what I mean? So to me, it's their complaint is why is Canelo fighting these guys for this belt, but yet it's kind of disrespected the other guys that are actually holding the
Exactly.
belts and legit belts. They're not intern, they're not vacant, they're not. Yeah, Benavides lost his belt twice, once to drugs and once on the scale, but
I mean,
it is what it is,
it
bro.
happened. It's exactly, and then, I mean, that even being said, that you even said that. I mean, these guys aren't even fighting each other, bro. I mean, to
Right.
get a
They're
shot,
like,
to get a shot at Canelo, I mean, I believe Charlo's being the biggest one right now. I mean, he's being the biggest duck right now. I mean, he's basically coming up with different things, like, well, you got to come down to 160s now, knowing damn well Benavides can't make that weight.
yeah, no.
Um,
He's
like
trying to pull
what?
the A size. He's trying to pull the A size shit. And no, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
exactly. I mean, and then too, I mean, David's side. David's my boy, bro. I mean, I love David Benavides, man. I mean, he's one of my favorite fighters today. One of the young talents, like I said, I've seen him in camps. All out badass fighter. I mean, great fighter. Um, young still,
Very.
green still. Um, personally, what I've been telling a lot of people, Canelo would do to David Benavides right now what Mayweather did to him. And I'm
Very
thinking
true.
that's a perfect. I mean, I'm thinking that's a perfect example of what will happen to David Benavides. I mean, even his own pop
Yeah,
said,
his own dad said it. You're
his
right.
own dad said he should fight him now because 2 years down the line or
He's gonna
next
be
year,
better.
by the end of next year, I mean, he's gonna learn new tricks. I mean, this is boxing. They all do.
Yeah.
They
They
all
all do
learn
it.
new tricks. And I mean that goes to another thing too. Where's the sleep Bubo Andrade and Quigley this weekend?
Yeah.
If Quigley will Quigley come out and show up, I mean, put that Irish blood in there, man. That's a bad boy right there. He's a strong kid too.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I really think Quigley will take it to Boo Boo. He's gonna take it to Boo Boo, but I mean, Boo Boo's still gonna win. I have Boo Boo winning that fight. I really want to see him and David get down. I think that would be a freaking showdown and a half. I really do. I mean, him and Charlo would be a perfect matchup. There's man, like, I can go on in this division
Yeah,
right
there
now.
really is. It's endless, but I mean, we've said it before. If you make all these guys fight each other, pretty much everybody has a zero by its name, right?
Yes.
So these guys fight each other, they lose. The biggest complaint will be, okay, Benavides beat Charlo, and all of a sudden Canelo fights Charlo next. Has to wait for Benavides because Benavides might have some kind of mandatory. Then they're like, oh well, Canelo got Charlo off his first loss. He didn't get him at 100%. He didn't get him undefeated. So I understand. Yeah, I believe there should be a tournament because it'll just prove the best, in this bracket, the best in this bracket will eventually meet in the middle for a championship for an all-out,
I mean, it's just like I
good
showed you the
battle.
other day. I mean,
Yeah.
I showed you that one the other day. I mean, posted it on Facebook. A lot of people are questioning me, but hey, Bradis is in there from the cruiserweight division. I have him in there too. Like everybody asked me, like, dude, that dude's a cruiserweight. I'm not tripping. Was I tripping now? Look what happened.
Yeah.
I mean, a week and a half later, I mean, even before that, I mean, I had Bradis already coming up in the cruiserweight division. O'Callie's in there. I mean, it's a big division.
Yeah,
I
Okali
mean,
was even posting some stuff on Instagram, and it was
yeah,
pretty.
but
He
he
did a
loves
pretty
it.
funny video.
He
He
loves
loves
it.
it.
He loves
Yeah,
it.
he definitely loves
He's a
it.
fan
And
of this. He's
and
a
no,
fan.
man,
He
and
wants to
it's
face.
definitely not. It's not a bad thing that you're putting. You know, it's kind of like, boxing. You know the fighters that are out there. You know the competition, and you want to see these guys again in this tournament bracket, whether if it's cruiserweight, super middleweight, light heavyweight, whatever.
Uh,
These guys are all
Me
in there.
personally, I think it should be a big time catch weight thing. Like if this is gonna happen to get Canelo, I mean, if you want that payday, I believe it has to be a catch weight thing. I'm thinking maybe 172,
Mhm.
172, and maybe 179.
Yeah,
Keep it
I get it.
between
I
there.
get it. I get it.
I
But
mean, because
there's
there's
one thing.
cruiserweights involved too.
Yeah, there's
So
one thing though with Canelo. I actually just saw an article like maybe an hour ago before we got on, and he actually mentions that he doesn't care about the money. As you can tell, the guys he's fighting, he doesn't care about the money. The biggest thing to
the
him is
people
his leaving his name in the books, making history, being
stamp,
a legend.
stamp,
The snap,
stamp.
exactly. So when people are like, oh well, this makes the most money, this is the best, this and that, but like people are overlooking that some of the articles that Canelo put out there, like the money is nothing to him. Just look what he did the other day. He just donated $1 million to the Children's
That's it.
Cancer
Yeah,
Foundation.
cancer.
He
That
could
was
have went and
beautiful.
bought. He could have went and bought some more houses. He could have went and bought more property, watches, cars. He could have went all out, but that just shows
Horses.
you right there to him the money. Oh, horses, yeah, or a farm, but it's just not. It's just the money really. Yeah, it's a reward. Of course, these
It
guys want
is.
to be rewarded for what they're doing, but that
It
just
is.
proves to you, it's not really the money for him. It's the legacy, and that's just
Yes.
shows you. That shows you, a true Mexican fighter.
Yes. And
He
congratulations to Eddie Reynoso,
yeah, for
on
sure.
Trainer of the Year. I mean, he has a stable, like I said, that we've talked about, that is pretty intense. It's pretty crazy stable of champions and future champs.
Yeah.
Um,
AJ's he's really wanting to work at AJ. Like,
yeah,
I saw that the other
yeah,
day.
for
He's
real.
really looking to try to work with AJ,
Yeah.
according to what, Michael Benson that reported that, and Mike Coppinger, that he
Yes.
is interested still, and he sees a lot of potential in AJ. And hey, dude, that's cool. You know what? Like, I guess you would have to put that Ruiz thing to the side or just sign a one fight contract. Because
Yep, something
that
like that.
stable has the perfect
It's just
antidote for him. They
loaded.
have
Loaded.
Sanchez in there, which could emulate the style of Usyk. Maybe not to the T, but that style
Pretty damn
a
close.
boxer. Yeah, because Sanchez
Pretty
is a
damn
boxer
close.
in the heavyweight. He's not really a heavy puncher. He's not a kung fu guy. He's a technical in the heavyweight, and that'd be a good sparring partner for him.
And check this out. I'm gonna quote something that my buddy Emmy Khan. He's from the UK, bro. Really cool dude. He's on Boxing Fanatics, by the way, everybody. He's the main dude from the page. Anyway, he posted this thing today, bro, and I actually kind of laughed because they had said Canelo's moving up the cruiserweight. Oh yes, he's ducking. He's cherry picking. You know, my buddy Emmy said, and I quote, he goes, "Did Canelo just not beat 3 undefeated world champions?
There you go,
Did he
man.
not? Did he not?
Well, of course he did. And again, who did
Where
Benavidez
did he
beat
have
to
to
get those
fight?
belts?
Exactly.
Who did Charlo beat to get those belts? Who did Andre beat to get these belts? So like, you got to understand, it goes a two-way street. So you're gonna
Yeah.
tell me that the only reason why these guys got the name out there because the promoters pushed them out there. In their eyes, they saw these guys in their stable as the ones to push out there to make them the most money. But exactly, who have each one of these guys have fought? Like, Charlo's struggled in his last couple fights. Andrade has been inactive. Benavidez, I would say his best win will probably be against Durrell. Would be
Oh, I
against
think
Andre Durrell.
yes. Yeah, for real. I mean, coming out Andre Durrell coming off that massive knockout too, man.
Yeah, for
I
sure,
mean,
man.
he wants some of Canelo, man, but I don't want to see him go out on that horse
Yeah,
personally. I mean, I want to see him go up, win his last fight if he is going to retire, like he said. But I just stay away from Canelo right now, bro, because this he's on a war path.
yeah. It's easy, like you said, it's either Canelo or retire. I think he won't get the Canelo fight. I just don't think it's intriguing to Canelo. Yeah, he had an impressive win on that
Yes,
card, November 6th, but there's just nothing really intriguing. Unfortunate. Yeah, I'm sure Canelo's giving him his props because Canelo's a pretty respectable dude.
Yeah, big time. I mean, Andre Durrell is always respected. He's been respected in this game for a long time.
Yeah,
I
for
mean,
sure.
I have much respect for him too. I mean, he's lost, but who gives a shit?
Yeah.
I don't care. He's always been a great fighter, tough dude, tough opponent for everybody that he's fought. I mean, he did fight David, right?
Durrell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah,
That's probably Benavidez's
he's the
best
one that
win.
put him on his ass, right? He's the
Yeah,
one that
that's
put him on his ass with the right hand.
yeah, that's
Yeah, so
Benavidez's best win to date, which
yes.
that's it's like
Okay.
the Munguia and Rosado. Like you have these stepping stone guys to gauge where your fighter's at. So that's
That was
kind
a
of
fun
what
fight, though,
Benavidez
right?
is. Yeah, we'll get to that a little bit later. Like we definitely wanted to break the news, like you said, about some of the stuff you heard that Canelo's gonna be fighting in September. But again, we've been away for a little while. We've been game planning on what we're gonna do for the YouTube page. We're definitely gonna be trying to put more episodes out there, even if it's not a 40-minute, 50-minute episode, but just quote on
And we're
some of
just
the
gonna
stuff
start
that are being reported. Yeah, and
breaking down
so
stuff.
we slacked a little bit, but it's we're regular dudes. We have regular
Life.
jobs. I work shift. You work 12 hours. I work 12 hours. But we definitely gotta push for this, especially people that come across this and my friends at work. They're like, dude, I really like your YouTube page, and it's starting to make a little name out there. We've interviewed some cool
Yes, it
fighters,
is.
and we're definitely going to be doing some more stuff in the
Yes,
future.
it is. Shout out
But
to all the kids, freaking from Brawler, from Reyes, from freaking from 37th, from Southwest Gym. I mean, everybody that competed in Gene Lewis this weekend too.
yeah, we haven't
Here
forgot
in
you guys. Please, like,
here in
don't think
Phoenix.
that we just completely went ghost on you guys and we forgot about all you youngsters
Nah,
out
man,
there.
nah, we
But we
still love
definitely
y'all,
didn't.
man.
We definitely got a lot of love for you guys. We
Definitely
will
kept up
be in
with you
there
guys. Don't
soon.
worry.
It is the holidays too, so right now at work for me, it's a lot of mandatory overtime. You got the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, but at least the week after Christmas, I mean the week after Thanksgiving to Christmas, we'll probably stop by like in a couple gyms, so a few days in between
For
then and there
sure.
that we'll be able to stop by and get into that. But dude, yeah, definitely some pretty cool
Yep.
breaking news.
Shout
Like you
out.
said, there was some cool breaking news, and
Yep, and cool
that's just
shout
what we're
outs, like
trying
I
to
said.
do. That's what we're just
Shout
trying to
outs
do
to the
out here.
kids.
And I guess we'll get right into the episode the way we should. And first things first, since we missed a couple good weekends of UFC, we'll get into UFC first.
Yep.
Explain the winners, where would they go from there,
And we had
and
some
be
big
straight into
times.
boxing, man. Straight into
I mean, we had
boxing.
some big
So
time things.
yeah.
Usman. I mean, the same night as Canelo, November 6th. I mean, it ran into a undisputed fight night.
Who?
The Usman versus Covington.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. So I mean, we'll go over that one. I mean, that one right there was ended up being a pretty damn good fight. I guess you could say that main event. Of course, Usman, the better man. As he's been the first, as he was the first one. I mean, the first one was a war too. Colby, of course, showed heart, showed what he can do. I mean, true American dude.
Yeah, for sure.
What's your take on that fight? Man, I mean, I
Well,
liked it a
actually,
lot.
before we get into that one, I believe there was actually on October 30th, there was actually a really good card. You had the Glover Teixeira being 42 years old, beating Blachowicz, Peter Yan beating Sanhagen,
And Hagen, yeah.
Islam beating Dan Hooker. So like, you have some of these guys the week before that are making a splash, dude. And they're trying to get these fights in there. They're obviously in the top 10 with who they are. But I just wanted to congratulate, especially Glover Teixeira being a 42-year-old. Like he's fought his ass off to get to this point where he's at. And he didn't beat just some guy that just barely won a belt. Like he beat a guy that was legit, Blachowicz.
Yeah.
And dude, he showed it, man. And honestly, when I watched it, I saw it at work, bro. Like I'm not gonna lie, there was like the sentimental part of it, and it kind of made me a little teary-eyed because I was like, dude, like you understand like how hard these guys
You
work
did it.
and
You
work out.
finally
He
did.
did it. Yeah, and man, like DC Daniel Cormier was like, man, I could cry right now here on this stage, or here on this cast that we saw Glover Teixeira winning, with Peter Yan, Islam beating Hooker, Kazmat, man,
Like, that
these are
dude,
legit.
that dude's in a league of his own, bro. I heard he's
Yeah,
gonna
he
fight
definitely
freaking.
is.
I'm hearing he's finally gonna fight Mendez, bro.
Yeah, I seen that. I definitely seen that. He might be fighting Mendes,
I said, I'm sorry. What's the name of? Oh my god.
Masvidal.
Uh, no, is it Mendez? One that just fought. Oh my goodness gracious, he fought like a couple fights. Jesus Louise, I have to check that out right now.
Oh,
But
he
yeah,
Gilbert
he's
Melendez. Gilbert. Yeah,
yeah, that guy. Yeah, Gilbert Melendez. That's who he's fighting. That's rumored in February or March, I believe they
yeah. I
said.
seen that too. Yeah, when you told me like that popped up, on my Instagram, thanks to those algorithms and shit. But yeah, no, I mean, before we get into that main event with Usman and Covington, it was a stat
The
card.
ladies,
You had the first fight of the night, which is Gaethje and Chandler. I mean, we said it. You thought the
AZ's on.
you were picking Rodriguez and Holloway as like the fight of the year, and I could kind of see it because yeah, there was a couple more rounds, but I just feel like this one here there was like no defense whatsoever. Like these guys did not grapple
It's a
Gaethje and
slugfest,
Chandler,
bro.
and it was, man, honestly, that right there was it was a brawl. It was crazy.
Hey,
I was
I'm not gonna
I
lie to
picked Gaethje.
everybody. Me and this dude were like looking like the two different fights, like trying to
Oh
figure out like what the hell to
yeah,
watch, because like the Gaethje Chandler fight was just ridiculous.
yeah,
And
Bernie.
I was just
Thank you.
laughing. I was
Yeah,
laughing.
it
I
was
was
crazy,
laughing,
man.
bro. I'm
But
sorry I had to bring that up because I was just too funny. That just came to my mind right
yeah,
now.
and then what Gaethje winning, like you have Khabib, like saying, hey, you know what, you had your three chances and you failed twice to get a championship.
Yeah,
So he thinks that his favorite Islam Mike Makhachev should be the next one in line to fight the winner of Oliveira and Poirier.
yeah,
But I
bro.
mean,
I agree.
I
I
I,
agree.
I I could kind of see maybe yes, but you got to remember, like, Gaethje's been here in this division. Look at what Chandler did. Like, his first fight, he came in, beat Dan Hooker. His second fight, he came in, he got knocked out by Oliveira. His third fight in the UFC, he gets beat by Gaethje. So you see like this pattern. Yeah, some of these guys have been there a long time, but not just because I'm from Arizona and I support Gaethje all the way, but I think fair is fair. Like he actually should be the one that should be fighting. He's the one that should have been fighting Oliveira the first time before Chandler fought, for them to
This
get
is
that
true.
chance to get that chance to fight each other. So that's what I think. So when you do that, yeah, Gaethje gets put on the shelf for a little while. He was like the honorary number one because he did fight Khabib, but he lost to Khabib. But I feel
Yes,
like I do believe that the winner, Gaethje should get the winner of Poirier and Oliveira.
Oliveira.
Yeah.
Then that's in 2 weeks, right? Is that what that is? December 11th, is it?
Man, I know it's in December, bro. I know it's
I
in
think it's on my
December.
cousin's birthday, December 11th. And my cousin, I think, is gonna head to that one. Santino, I see you, brother.
Yeah, that's another stat card. Yeah, dude, for sure. And
Yep,
then
that's a dope card right there.
yeah, and Marlon Vera beat Frankie Edgar. It was sad to see. Frankie Edgar might be time to just let it go. He's one of the
Hang it
toughest
up.
dudes. Yeah, and a lot of people have a lot of love for Edgar, and they don't want to see him going through that and get hurt. And then
I mean, I know the money's there, but hey, just stop, brother. I mean, you've already made your mark on the sport. Everybody knows who you are. Everybody knows your name. Everybody knows what you can do.
yeah, and then Rose and Zane.
Yep.
What did you think about that one, man?
The women,
Yeah. Well, what were your thoughts? On the Gaethje and Chandler as well.
bro, Gaethje and Chandler, like I said, I mean, it was just kind of because we had two things going on. I was saying, shout out to Bernie, for allowing us to be at his house that night, and doing our thing.
Yeah.
But man, Gaethje Chandler was just a slugfest, bro. Like that was just like two offenses going at it with no defense, and I mean, their faces told it all, their bodies told it all.
Dude, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I can see your point of how you would want that fight of the year. I mean, yeah, they're AZ boys, and I really appreciated that show. It was badass, and Gaethje got the win. Of course, he well deserved. I mean, it could have gone either way. But yeah, I mean, I just like you said, I feel he should get the winner of the Dustin Poirier.
Yeah,
And
he's more deserving of it,
yeah, well, and he showed it. I mean, that's hard. I mean, they're gonna start, like they said, I think they're gonna start doing the title eliminators now in UFC, all 5 rounds now, if I'm correct. I think I just read that recently, um, which is good for the sport too, because now people get more. We're gonna get more rounds, if it does go the distance, that is. Um, just respect too, man. I want to give out shout out, bro, to just all the women in the MMA, bro. Like that too could be well fight of the year.
Yeah,
The
the Rose and
co-main
Whaley.
event, yeah, bro, that was ridiculous. Like you have 2 women, bro, just brawling it out like man, dog. I mean, it's just you just see everything. I mean, it was fun to watch these 2 guys. I mean, I didn't watch the Terrell fight because I was actually watching that fight
Yeah,
because I was that entertained by it.
yeah, it was
But the
very
only thing,
entertaining, bro.
but like I said,
Very.
it's just sad. It was just sad that it fell on a night that Canelo ruled the night that night. Of course, I mean, you even had Dana White watching the damn fight at his own event, which was kind of sad. But I mean, I could see his point. I mean, he did have money on the line. Shout out to
Yeah.
Dana White, though, for the love. I mean, I know you love boxing. I know you love your combat sports, bro. I mean, we love you too, man. But hey, just it's kind of that was sad to kind of see that picture.
Yeah. He joked about it. And you're
Yeah, oh
right,
yeah, he
man.
did.
You're
He
definitely
did.
right. Rose and Whaley. You still got, you still got Pena versus Valencia fight
Yeah.
coming
Mm-hmm.
up. And dude, I mean, all these fights that were on this card because it could have easily been its own main event. And
Yes, we can.
coming away from that, there's so many avenues that these guys could go with, like some of these UFC guys, and it's cool. It's cool. I love it. I
And
was
that's what I
just like
love
you.
about the UFC right
Yeah.
now. I mean, they're just matching up this talent. I mean, like we've talked about before, that boxing should put these cards on too. I mean, just like I said too. I mean, personally, I had a dream card well next year. I mean, now that he's fighting that cruiserweight Canelo, I'm thinking David too. I mean, should fight Charlo that night, or even go up, maybe fight Beterbiev after Brown. I mean, it only makes sense to me. But I mean, just going that's just off topic. I'm just saying, I wish boxing would do that. What UFC is doing right now is putting on these killer cards and showing local talents. Too at the beginning of all their cards. Which I've noticed recently. And I mean, you just have fight cards of like what, maybe 15 to 20 fights that start at 2 o'clock, and they just keep going. I mean, that's UFC for you right now.
Yeah, it really is, bro. That's what they do. They they put on these cards, and it's not like they're trying to keep these guys undefeated. And
Mm-hmm.
it's that's what happens when you have the best fight in the best. You're gonna have eventually a loser, and there's nothing wrong with losing. Just
Not
look
at
at
all.
Glover Teixeira. Like I think he had like 12 losses or 10
12
losses.
losses. Yeah, I was gonna tell
Yeah.
you that 12
And look at
losses is
he just
cool.
won. He just won the championship at 42 years old. So yeah, we definitely got
Good
to hand
work.
it off to Dana White as usual, putting on a good card. It was unfortunate that it was a competition obviously between them and the Canelo on the same night, but with the numbers, they still haven't really released the UFC numbers as far as like pay-per-view and at the
Yeah,
gate.
there's just a
They
lot of
estimated there's
talk. There's a little estimated things.
yeah, there's
I mean,
no
it's
exact
hidden.
number. There's no exact number. So that just is either like him shooting himself in the foot for thinking this card would actually do the Canelo fight. But like I said, and we both said that the boxing fans are gonna be like, dude, like you're not gonna outdo a person trying to unify, like that's history. And then you have the UFC guys that
Yeah.
obviously they're gonna always argue no matter what. They always think their sport is
Yes.
better than this sport, but it should just be neutral because it's just fighting, period. That is just
Well,
gonna be like, well, how? Like,
congratulations, brother.
yeah,
Congratulations to
like,
Combat Sports that night.
yeah,
I
they're gonna be
mean,
like, why, damn, I forgot what I was gonna say. Go ahead.
my bad.
Yeah,
No,
relax, bro. I totally
no,
forgot what I was gonna say. But anyways,
no.
yeah, dude, that was cool. It was a good night for the UFC, November 6th. there's still more fights to go. The year isn't over, just like boxing, and
We
you know
have
we, we
what,
can.
6 weeks left, and we have like brawls coming up after brawl after brawl.
Yeah,
I
for
mean,
sure.
it's crazy, man. I mean, even this, like I said, this past weekend, Max Holloway and Yair Rodriguez. I mean, Yair Rodriguez trains here in Tucson, and I mean, shout out to him too. I mean, I've met him before, and he put on a hell of a show for us. And I just feel, I mean, that was fight of the year for me. I mean, I've seen some shit this year in UFC, but that was some shit.
Yeah, it was definitely a good fight, man. Definitely could be a candidate. It's where does Holloway go from here? Where does Yair go from here? I know a lot of
Yeah,
people were thinking that Rodriguez's career was kind of pushed. It was kind of forced. You know, like he was doing really good, and then they put him in with Frankie Edgar, and they were like, "Well, that could be too soon." And I believe it now. Like when I go back and I see it, I'm like, man, you know what? Because you know, it's just you don't want to just rush this dude and get him out of there, get him hurt. Yeah, he put up a damn good fight against Holloway. It was close. He actually got a good round in there on him, but he kept it competitive enough. He unfortunately couldn't come away with the win.
yeah,
And
it was fun. It was a freaking. I mean, Yair Rodriguez's foot. Hopefully, heals well. I don't know if you saw that picture. It was pretty
oh, dude,
nasty.
yeah, that was brutal. I'm sure some
But I
broken
mean, the
metatarsals in there.
sportsmanship, the sportsmanship these guys show after every fight. I mean, you can go from Frankie Ed, I mean, from Holloway to Yair Rodriguez inside the ambulance to Canelo actually having a conversation with Plant inside the ring.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool. It's cool to see what sports is coming to now. I mean, even after these bigger fights are announced. But I mean, just like moving on. I mean, from the UFC. I mean, we got a fight this weekend, bro.
I think we should do that one. I know I want to do that right now, but I was thinking we could probably do a better breakdown. I feel like we can do like a tale of the tape. We can do
Yeah,
their
for
last
sure.
couple of opponents, because this
I
is a
feel you.
episode we're trying to catch up on, and I don't want to try to make it. I just don't want it to drag too long because we still got, some of the stuff that happened in boxing as well. We had, Oscar Rivas being the first Bridgerweight champion. He beat
Yeah.
Romanov. Then the Jamel Herring and Shakur Stevenson.
That was
Um,
Halloween night, right? That for the Oscar Rivas
no,
that
that
he
was on the
won that
22nd.
weekend.
No, that
Okay,
was
the
on the
weekend
20.
before.
Yeah, that was the 22nd of October. And then the day after was the Herring and Shakur Stevenson.
Before.
Nico Walsh got his second win on there. So did Evander Holyfield's son made his debut. I know with the Shakur Stevenson, I know we talked. I even texted you. I was like, dude, you know what? I think that
This is dangerous.
yeah, this is dangerous. I felt like Herring was
Dangerous.
gonna pull away a win, but Shakur just showed and proved, that he's the next to to be coming out of
It's
that division,
scary.
man, at 130, 135. And I also read for those always thinking that like Oscar Valdez isn't ready. Like Oscar Valdez said, like that fight's next. Like, or he's not afraid of that fight, but they have obligations next, and we know who those
Yeah.
two guys are going to be fighting.
There's a lot of
Navarrete,
mandatory shit going on right now,
yeah, you got
and
the
it
Navarrete
kind of
Valdez.
sucks.
Then you have the Burchell versus Shakur Stevenson, which still isn't bad. Like you having these four guys are fighting each other. Like they're all top guys. So there's not one bad fight in there. Like there's possibly some kind of an upset or a wild card in there that can throw off the big event, no matter who it is in the end.
Yeah, this is
Um,
true. I mean,
yeah,
we
yeah.
talked about it too, and Navarrete and Oscar Valdez, how they're pretty equal in style. And I mean, even Jahai even spoke about it too with us too. He talked about, I mean, the style would probably be a badass style between two fighters, and it'll be a big time thing. I think it'll generate a lot of views, a lot of pay-per-views too.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, that fight, Shakur Stevenson, I think too. I mean, if that fight were to happen, I think that should happen the same night.
Oh, those
I mean,
cards.
yeah, it would be beautiful.
I'm pretty sure they will probably work something like that, but
It would be
it's
beautiful though. It's not
it's a
saying so.
Yeah, it would be. It would be ideal. Ideally, they wish they should do that because I mean, you want a stack card, but we just know that they're gonna have them fight separately because it's, excuse me, like there's
Shakur
money in it.
Stevenson and Oscar
There's money in
Valdez.
it. There's money in it. It's a business, and you know, Mr. Bob Arum is gonna want to have these four guys in their own main event, which is cool. Hey, whatever, you know.
Yeah,
You
for
also
sure.
had
Xander.
Zepeda knocking out Vargas, but we had our two guests that actually fought on that card. We had Jai Tucker and Carlos Jackson. They got their wins in that card as well, and
Night.
you know, congratulations, guys. But yeah, dude, Zepeda knocking out Vargas, you know,
First
talking out
round.
the side of his mouth, first round. That just it just proves to you like there's levels. Like Vargas is a good he's a good young fighter, but you know he was humbled, and you could see it in
Yep.
his dad's corner. I mean, in his corner with his dad, his trainers, and him. He was just like, I just made a simple mistake, and Cepeda
Yes,
just
he did.
executed on it, man.
And just for everybody to know too, Josh Taylor will be mandating that one right after he beats Catterall in February.
Oh, for
Just
Cepeda?
yeah, just putting that out there already too. I mean, you heard it here because it's gonna happen. And there's no way even Josh Taylor said he wants it, so he's gonna get that fight regardless.
It would be a really good fight because we would. I mean, we've seen Cepeda, you know, in a step up fight against Ramirez. You know, he kind
Got
of came up
knocked
a little bit
down a
short.
lot.
Yeah, he came up short.
Got knocked down. Everything. I
Yeah,
mean,
and you want to see him. I believe, just like everybody else believes, that wasn't the 100% Zepeda against Ramirez. But I think if we were to see like as a like the 100% Zepeda against a Josh Taylor, that's some fireworks in the ring. But
it's
Josh Taylor is a
ridiculous.
bad boy, man. Yeah, Josh Taylor's a bad boy, and I just don't see him anybody really beating him until either he comes across
Mayo
Regis,
or somebody.
yeah,
Regis.
a rematch. That was a close fight, or even him and Terrence Crawford. You know, they didn't exchange words, but they actually exchanged their own breathing space, shook hands, and you know, champions recognize champions. That was pretty cool to see.
Sure. Heck yeah, man. I mean, this just had a lot going on, bro. I mean, boxing, he had a change, of course, with Trevante Davis, with Raleigh. Yeah, now you have Isaac Cruz coming at him in 2 weeks. I mean, just have a lot of things going on now in boxing. That's kind of changed it up the last 2 weeks. I mean, a lot of fights have been postponed. We're not talking about Fulton facing freaking Figueroa.
Yeah, finally getting that one, man.
I mean, finally getting that one on the 27th next week. And that's getting its own thing. And we're going to be able to watch that live too on Showtime, I believe. Right? Is
Yeah,
it Showtime?
I thought it was Fox.
Or Fox? Yeah, it might be Fox. You might be right. But I mean, just man, the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks of boxing are going to be
Mm-hmm.
pretty gnarly up until probably December 11th when UFC comes back and hits hard again.
Yeah, it's true. And you know, like the last couple weekends too. Actually, last weekend, you know, we had two. I guess you want to call them upsets. You know, Martinez against Kid Galahad, and then you had Alicia Baumgartner beating Terry Harper. So those were two unexpected wins, especially I think the Kid Galahad and Kiko Martinez. And dude, and you know, speaking of like the women's fighting, you had Michaela Meyer too fighting Hamadouche, which was a freaking crazy fight.
Yes, it
I
was.
was pretty pissed off though. I remember us mentioning it about the scoring. They
Yeah,
did have the right person winning. Yeah,
Maurice
they had the
Batiste
right
too.
person winning,
Yeah.
but it was just that was disrespectful to
Yes, it was.
Hamadouche because she actually put up a fight. I agree with the score. I think they had it like 94, 96 or 98, 96. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah,
To me, that was more of a reasonable, you know, a 2 round difference or even a 1 round difference with a couple swing rounds in there. But the women's, you know, like you said, you wanted to big up the women's MMA. Like I'm
for
gonna big
sure.
up the boxing as well because there's so many options, man. Like Clarissa Shields getting back into boxing. She's talking about
Yep,
it.
big time.
You could throw
Bro, give me
Baumgartner
a
in
second, really
there.
quick, bro. A quick second. I'm sorry. 1 second.
Of, you know, you bigged up the women's MMA. I just want to big up the women's boxing. You know, you got Clarissa Shields coming back to boxing. Offer a little hiatus with the MMA, which is cool. But you know, we have like Serrano in there. We have Katie Taylor. You have Meyer. Now you have Baumgartner. You can even throw Amaduch in there, even though she lost to Meyer. Like you could throw her name in there. You could even still throw Terry Harper, Amanda Serrano. Like, dude, it's you
You
know,
throw La Cobra Reese in there
La
too.
Cobra Ruiz in there. You know, and she congratulations, right? Did she win Knockout of the Year? No, or she was nominated for Knockout of the Year.
Nominated.
Yeah,
Yes,
she was
she was.
nominated, but she did get an award. It was kind of like a humanitarian award that she got, you know, for being
Yes.
a mom of 3 children, hold down 2 jobs and a professional boxing career. And from Off the Ropes, we send our congratulations to you as well. But
Yes. I mean, it's just like the women's boxing. If you're not watching it or you're not entertained by it, then you're not a fan of boxing, or I don't even think you're a fan of combat sports. You know, if you don't enjoy what you're seeing right now,
yeah,
out of all these
definitely
women.
the women definitely are making a splash, man, and it's good to see because it's well deserved. It's very well deserved. And speaking of women, like I don't know, have you seen the Christy Martin documentary yet?
I haven't
Deal with
seen
the
it yet.
Devil.
I've been
Oh,
hearing about it.
dude.
I've heard about it. I gotta watch. I'll
Well,
watch it.
yeah. When you watch it, let me know. We'll do an episode on it. We'll give our thoughts on that on that
Yeah, because I've heard
documentary.
some quotes. I've heard some quotes that she's done on there already. You know that she's interviewed on and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
yeah, I'll watch it.
Yeah,
You
and it
know.
would be cool, man, if we could get her on. I know
Oh
she's
man,
really down to earth to people. She loves hanging out and talking to people. But dude, her story is incredible.
yes,
But
it is.
we'll save that for a later episode. I just
Yeah, for sure.
on the women's topic, I just wasn't sure if you saw that or not.
No, I
I thought we
haven't.
were, I
But
thought
yeah,
we were gonna I thought we were gonna vibe, but totally missed it, bro.
haven't. Hey, bro, I haven't. I'm not really much of a TV guru, bro. I'm always
Yeah,
just living as it is. I watch boxing, go over boxing, any news that it is. I mean, and
it
take
is
care of the
boxing.
body.
Yeah, it is
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
boxing.
for sure. No,
Yeah,
for sure. But you
Big
want to
Ella
go into the
had
Crawford? Yeah, I'm going to the Crawford match. Going to this weekend's fight, bro. I'm really excited for this
you
fight.
want. I thought you really want to break that one down. Then now, I
Yes, I
mean, I
do.
don't know. I
Yeah, I
guess.
really do.
I
I
guess we
really
could
do
skip
want to
over
break
the
this.
Moon. I guess we could skip over the Mungia and the Rosado and all that. Save that for.
Yeah, I just want to freaking do that. I mean, because actually, you know what? Let's talk about Mujia Rosales. What an exciting one that was.
Yeah,
I mean, that was a fireworks show. Mujia did not let off the gas, not one bit for 12 rounds. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I mean, it's
Mungia. I'm familiar.
yeah. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen anybody put an output of punches that this dude put out in 12 rounds and continued to do it. I mean, you have Rosado, a seasoned veteran fighter coming off a huge KO, who was landing on the younger Munguia. I mean, which we saw plenty of, but nothing was behind the punches, as you can tell, because the body was being broken down the whole fight. Munguia has a freaking chin of rocks, and so does Gabe. What's your take on it, bro? I mean, that was freaking fireworks show.
I mean, overall, yes, it was a good showing of Mungia. He did look a bit sharper, like with his punches. His combinations looked more tighter, but he still kind of lacks that defense. He was getting hit with unnecessary shots. And I know Rosado did get his last win was a knockout, but his last knockout before that was against Glenn Tapia. That was like 2018 or 2019. So Mungia, yeah, taking shots from Rosado. Like no disrespect, Rosado really doesn't carry that power. Yeah, he did get a second round knockout against the bully, but um overall, I just think that's who Mungia is. That's just might be his type of style. He's like an action-packed fighter. He's gonna make it exciting. You know, he's gonna win a lot of fights. He's gonna possibly lose some close ones too. Just if that's the kind of style he's gonna come with, where he gets hit with unnecessary shots. Because there was a couple of shots where he did get rocked, and I thought Rosalo was gonna step on the gas, but I think he was just already gassed out from, like you said, the body shots and Mungia's output. But I mean, overall, dude, I think it was a good fight, bro. I definitely enjoyed it. It was definitely fan friendly. You got action packed back and forth. Rosado landing shots, Munguia landing shots. You saw the combination, and like I said, I just thought his punches were a lot sharper than they were, but they
Big
just,
time.
yeah, I just think that's just who he is. Like we're not gonna see, a lot of slick bobbing and weaving, feinting. Is just he's gonna take two to land his three, and vice versa. It's just that's how it's gonna be, and there's nothing wrong with that, bro. Like it has people buzzing about him. That's the thing. You got people buzzing about him. So
Yeah, man, it was a fun fight though, man. I mean, like I said, I mean, Rosalo said he was upset with the cards, but I mean, the cards
no, he lost the fight. Yeah, he
yeah, he
lost the
lost it
fight.
badly. I mean, like I said, I mean, I see Munguia fighting the winner of Murata GGG, which will most likely happen in April, May, too. I'm guessing.
Mhm.
Um, I see Munguia coming out victorious, actually showing the world that he can beat a more elite fighter, and this one right here, we're gonna see if he really has a chin or not,
That's
because
true. Yeah,
we know the power Triple G carries.
yeah.
I mean, that's nothing to be messed with. But hey, like I said, a lot of people couldn't take the shots Rosado put. I mean, a lot of like other fighters, I don't think they'll be able to take that shot
That
that
Rosado
Munguia.
had,
Yeah, that
or
Munguia took. I mean, that Rosado gave Munguia. There were some shots in there. I was like, God damn, like how did you not go down? But like I said, I mean, I think a lot of the body shots and a lot of the arm shots had a lot to do with his power being being pretty much propelled down to where it was. I mean,
yeah.
to not affect Munguia any.
Mhm. I think to be fair, if you kind of go over like Mungia's last couple fights, or just to begin with, yeah, Rosado a little bit older, and you seen some of the guys that came before Munguia that fought Rosado, or that fought the guys that came before Munguia, at that level that are ready, actually were able to break down Rosado. But like Rosado was in this fight a little bit longer. I know I said I thought Rosado would pull away like a split decision. But it was Munguia's output that put it. But as I watched it, I'm like, I think if Munguia has the power that I believe, or I think he has, like he'll probably most likely be able to put Rosado away. Um, but it was overall a good fight, bro. I have nothing bad to say about it. Just like any other fight, like there's, you know, things that they obviously know that they can do better and they can critique on. But do they, I think Triple G will be his next fight, yes, and it's perfect timing because with Triple G, he is a skilled fighter. He's also a very powerful puncher, and you can see like his skill is diminishing. But the thing that will keep him in this fight with Munguia, if Triple G's to get past Morado, would be his power, and power is usually the last thing to go. But I think it will be Munguia's youth, relentless youth, against Triple G's,
boxing
power.
IQ.
Yeah, slightly declining boxing IQ with Triple G's definitely power punches. So if that was to happen, Munguia gets past this test, I say you line them up for the next fights that could be out there. I know, we could possibly see maybe a Charlo. You could possibly see, on Boo Boo. There's Eubanks
Canelo
Jr.,
possibly at
Derevchenko.
168.
Yeah, there's Derevchenko. And it's funny because like, obviously we take our notes before we come on. And like I kind of put like a LOL next to one. I said I wouldn't be surprised if we seen Munguia versus Yildirim, like as a joke. Just to get that confidence back up, like, hey, we can still knock guys out.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, I think Munguia's offense is his defense, bro. But his defense is his offense. And we seen guys get by like that. Margarito. You know what? I used to say he's like the Margarito 2.5, not 2.0, but like 2.5. Just younger, obviously from TJ from Tijuana. I think better with the punches and youthful. So
yeah. No, that's true.
Sorry, I had to throw that in there. And we had Benavidez beat Davis. I know we wanted to see the Uzcategui fight, but You
He
know,
failed the drug test.
failed, and he actually tested for an EPO. That's an actual steroid. It's not like he took
Jeez.
something was tainted. It was like there
It's
was
not a
intent.
herbal tea, everyone.
Yeah, it was there was intent.
Dang.
There was intent to to enhance his performance. But we saw what we saw with Benavides with this fight.
He
You
got
know,
hit.
he got hit, and I think with this fight, it just proves that Canelo is levels above. And yeah, if Canelo's to fight him, statistically, this year, next year would be the year to like for sure like guarantee a win because yeah, Benavides will get better later on, but I think that it just happened anyways. I think
Yes, it
naturally
should.
that fight will happen in a couple of years, like you said, it maybe even next year in the September, maybe next year in September.
I think it's happening. I think he'll be the number one for sure, mandatory. I really think he does fight and possibly a Boo Boo or maybe even a Charlo.
Benavides,
Yeah, I really think
yeah,
yeah, I really does. I really do think he does, and I really think he impresses. Actually, and enough for us to hype up a Canelo Benavides fight
yeah, for sure,
this
dude.
time
And
around.
man, I mean, there's the options, right? Like you said, there's
It's too
Charlo,
many.
there's Andrade. I mean, dude, would even be like a really good solid fight. And like this wasn't a joke like the eardrum. I said like Daniel Jacobs and Benavides. Because
He
I
should
mean,
take that fight.
because Daniel Jacobs, he's still competitive, but it's like he's just hanging in there. And I think to see like a really good Jacobs, like a really good Daniel Jacobs, you need like a Benavides to really bring that out in him. And that would be a damn good win for Benavides if that fight was to be made and he was to pull out
No, I
against
agree.
Daniel Jacobs.
I agree with that one. The only thing is everybody will be arguing is Daniel Jacobs' age. That's what everybody will be arguing. Of course, all the haters.
People that understand boxing, that only
Yeah.
that only know like five names. They only think there's like five people that exist in boxing.
Mm-hmm.
Retards,
I mean,
retards.
and they still bring up Mayweather and half of them.
Yeah, yeah. Before,
Which
okay,
is
I mean, I'm sorry, go ahead. And I think actually, yeah, we will break. I think we should break down the fight that's happening this weekend. But I like to do a fight that happened in this day. I looked it up, and a fight that did happen on this day, November 11th, which is not 11, which isn't November 11th, but happened November 11th, 1986, was Roberto Duran versus Marvin Hagler.
jeez.
Yeah, so that was one of those fights that happened in history. I was 3 years old. Hagler won a close decision.
I wasn't born yet, but all right. Yeah, dang.
Somebody got to get that off the chest, man. But yeah, hey, look,
Yeah.
what is your
Yeah.
assessment on this weekend? What do you think? What do you see? Like, you know,
I mean, I
what do you see?
personally this weekend I could see TC cementing his legacy, in this division,
Mhm.
the 147 division. I could definitely see him cementing himself. But it's not going to be an easy task.
No.
Okay, I mean, I'm gonna let a lot of people know this too. There's a lot of casual people out here that say Crawford he's even favored by knockout, bro. Like
I know. I
by the
saw
eighth
that.
by the eighth round. I mean, that's disrespectful to a guy
Yeah,
that's gone.
and it's legit people too. It's
Yeah,
legit
like
people commentating that are like, no, this it's disrespectful. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
it is. No, it is. I mean, Crawford's a dog. He has a chin too. He could rock with the best. He rocked with Earl Spence. I mean, threw it down with Earl Spence. He did what he did. I mean, uh, Earl Spence, I think, has fought the better competition than Crawford has. Crawford, this is the first true top 5 welterweight he's actually fought.
Yeah.
You can't say Jeff Horn was, because Jeff Horn is just garbage. We all know he lost the fight to Pacquiao.
He
I'm
lost to
sorry. I'm
Pacquiao.
gonna say that. I'm gonna say that now. He's just garbage. I mean, don't even bring that up.
Yeah.
Don't even
Seriously.
bring that up to me, because I'll put every fact in your book right now. But anyway, I mean, his hardest fight was Jose Benavides. Jose Benavides, I feel, exposed his weakness, his biggest weakness. And that comes from a lot of people too. I mean, that's just not me. this has been said, from other trainers too. Kenny Porter said it too, by the way. Jose Benavides was most likely his hardest fight to date, and but that considering the Jose Benavides we just saw this past weekend, but I mean he that was a horrible decision, by the way. I mean, shout out to the
Home
Barrios, was his
cooking.
name? Yeah. I mean, it was bad, man. I mean, just the judging on that one. But anyway, I really think he exposed what TC's weaknesses, and that's to let him come at you. Let him come to you and you work your magic from there. I mean, you jab him down. If you could jab him out, frustrate him, which Jose Benavides did in that fight, he opens up a counter. You open up a counter, you open up the left hook. And TC is really prone to that. And that's Sean Porter's favorite throw is that left hook. He has a beautiful left hook, and he can land it. I think he has a little bit more power than Jose Benavides does. And I mean, I'm rocking. I love Sean Porter. I really do, but I feel it's going to go all rounds. I have a split decision just because I feel Porter's actually going to make it a fight, that people aren't really looking at. But I have TC winning, split decision. Hardest bout to date. And this will set up most likely, well, I don't think Errol Spence, because Errol Spence would have to fight Virgil Ortiz as is mandatory. Considering he does beat Derevchenko, I believe he's gonna fight.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Yeah,
No, it's
Derevchenko. No, Avanesian. I'm sorry.
Avanesian, yeah.
Yeah, that's fighting
David
Avanesian. That's
Avanesian.
yeah. I mean, which is great for him too, because now we're gonna see too what Virgil can do too. We're gonna see Avanesian ain't no pushover. He's been in there with the best already.
Yeah, they're gonna get there. It's you're gonna see the common opponent between the two.
Yeah. And everybody's gonna get their comparisons, of course. But like I said, I mean, I think TC could cement his legacy in that division and to possibly even get out of the division and go up to 154. Mm-hmm. Now, being that this will be his last fight with Top Rank. This is going to be the last fight with Top Rank, by the way. He is going to MTK Global, and he will start getting bigger fights now. He's not going to be held back by Bob Arum, not contracted no more. And which is good because that's what Errol Spence is doing. I mean, that's what Errol Spence did. Canelo's doing his own thing. Tank's trying to do his own thing. By the way, Tank's tickets are on Groupon, everyone. They are on Groupon. I'm just saying. Like, if you're claiming that's your king, man, I understand we wanted to see Raleigh and him, but the fight with him and Isaac, the Pit Bull, that's going to be a clash of two Rams, bro. Two guys that like to throw, same size. Both have power. It's just, like I said, too, I mean, Tank's, of course, I think Tank's going to win later rounds. Break him down like he's been doing some people. Power will show. But anyway, going back to Crawford, I mean, it's a cool undercard, bro. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know if you heard about the undercard at all. But before I even get to the undercard, I mean, who do you got going on for the TC and Porter? I mean, what do you got?
I don't think the Benavides fight was one that really exposed him. Yeah, it was a good competitive fight, but I mean, I think like mid to the end of the fight, like he just does what he does best is he adjusts and he makes the right adjustments. I mean, it could be a combination of the Benavides fight and I believe the Mean Machine. Like, so you got to have someone with those two styles mashed into one, and Sean Porter could be that kind of person that can mash those two styles together. Sean Porter has really good combinations. He's tough. He makes it really ugly. He makes you do things very uncomfortable, or he makes it very uncomfortable for you. So I think with that, those two styles, I think that's what Porter should take into this fight is something what Benavides did and something what Mean Machine Kavanaugh does and make it his own. And we'll see. I think we definitely will see the best Sean Porter. Like in recent, like I know people don't like his style because it's come forward. He's in your
Yeah.
face. He puts his head in your chest and he just digs it out. He just makes it a really ugly fight. But I just think Crawford. I mean Crawford. I believe he really is number two behind Canelo. I believe he's number two. I've always been high on him. It's just the last couple of years he hasn't been getting the fights that we all been wanting. He's just been getting he's just barely been getting by with some of his mandatories or some of these
C-level
fights that
fighters,
nobody really wants to
B-level
fight.
fighters.
Yeah, nobody the type of fights that nobody really wants to see. Um, and he definitely passes the eye test. He definitely, I think in the future, I see him fighting Josh Taylor. I believe he's going to be the one to actually dethrone Josh Taylor. I don't think Josh Taylor and Teofimo Lopez get into it. I just think they're using each other's name for recognition, like everybody else does.
Yeah.
Um, but I think Crawford is definitely number two behind Canelo. It's gonna be a good competitive fight. I don't see a knockout. I think that's pretty disrespectful to think that Sean Porter would get knocked out. I think he's gonna do enough. He's gonna be able to wear down Crawford enough to make that fight go 12 rounds. But I definitely pick Crawford. A very close unanimous decision. I know I picked split, but I just think it's gonna be some rounds that are toss ups, and I think he'll just get the benefit of the doubt because he's Terrence Crawford fighting on the top ranked card, and he's gonna get the nod in those rounds. But like, no
He's
disrespect to
fast
Sean
off
Porter, bro. Yeah, no disrespect to Sean Porter because Sean Porter, he's one of my favorite fighters too. It's just one of those things where you hate to see your two favorite fighters fight each other and one has to win, one has to lose. Um, it's just levels, and Terrence Crawford is just a level above, I think, all the welterweights. And
that Crawford's fought.
yeah, that Crawford's fought, and I think he's probably the best welterweight. You have the next guys coming up. You have Virgil Ortiz. You have Boots Ennis. Boots Ennis is still kind of unproven, but like eye test, bro. Like I
He's the
said, the eye
future.
test.
He's the future, bro.
He's
I
definitely
mean,
the
that's
future. The eye test, you see it, you're like, God, this boy is nothing nice. Like, but he does get hit a lot. I mean, I don't want to really break down his fights or anything. I know he did get a win a couple weeks ago.
and Cepeda just won this weekend too. The other Cepeda, he just
Yeah,
won this past
William
weekend.
Cepeda. Yeah, that was
You can put his name
impressive.
in there too. You can put his
Alexis
name in there too
Rocha.
now.
Alexis
Dude,
Rocha is
that boy
another good
is
one.
bad.
Yeah,
That boy is
yeah,
bad.
that boy is
Alexis
bad.
Roca, I'm gonna put your name on this right now, bro. I mean, if I don't see you in the damn championship fight in the next 2 years, I'll be pissed.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
because
for
I
sure.
see you, even though you lost that, 2 fights ago, I believe. But hey, the last 2 fights you've came back, and the last fight you showed out. Yeah, I really like what you do.
Yeah,
But bro, it's gonna be fun, bro. I mean,
yeah,
this.
and I'm not done yet. Hold on. But with the TC, yeah, bro, it's definitely gonna be. Um, Lost my thought again. But he's gonna definitely win this fight, bro. He's definitely gonna win this fight. It's gonna be a close, competitive, unanimous decision. I don't see. I hate to say that we're gonna see a knockdown because I don't want to see neither one get knocked down. But I think if anybody's gonna get knocked down, fuck it. They're both gonna get a knockdown because we seen TC, you know, get dropped by Kovanov that didn't count. And if I think Kovanov can the Mean Machine can get a knockdown, I believe Porter can get a knockdown. But again, that's gonna be the biggest. I think that'll be the biggest thing for Sean Porter is actually that knockdown and a couple close rounds. But TC, man, all the way. I got TC winning a close unanimous decision.
I totally agree with it, bro. I mean, TC is gonna show out this weekend. I mean, I'm ready for it. The undercard. Do you know who Esquiva Falcao is? By the way, I'm just wondering.
Yeah, he's the co-main event.
Yeah, I mean, he's this kid is bad, bro. I mean, he's fighting. The guy's name is Patrice Volney. He's from Canada. He's also unbeaten. These two are gonna go at it. This is actually Volney's first fight out of Canada. So this will be his first fight here in the States. We also have, let me see, Nassan Njokum at middleweight facing Ali McCauley. He was who was actually forced to who actually forced the former world title challenger Rob Brandt to retire pretty much after 8 rounds. So he's 10-0. You also have former champion Isaac Dogbo starting off the night, that the Crawford fight. So that's, I mean, it's he's fighting. Yeah, he's
that's a
fighting
good
Christopher
card, man.
Diaz. He's fighting Christopher Diaz. I mean, if you don't know who Christopher Diaz is, I mean, he was once in the featherweight mix too. I mean, this dude was making noise at 1.2 in the featherweight division. So, I mean, let's just see what Dogbo comes out. And, I mean, you also have Raymond Mortala. He's fighting too this weekend.
Well, yeah,
I mean,
he was supposed to fight.
yeah,
Yeah, he was supposed to fight here,
yeah,
on the Valdez card.
yeah, he was, and he got the COVID.
Yeah,
He's the one that got COVID.
I think he's a twin, or he's like an older brother. His brother's actually pretty good too. They're brothers.
I think he is a twin. You are correct about that. But he is fighting the Argentinian Elias Termena Rahu, who he actually was supposed to fight tonight here in Tucson. So they are fighting each other. And of course, we have California lightweight Carlos Balderas and Ecuador's Julio Cortez going at it, just to start off the night. I think it's going to be a 8-round battle. Yep. So, 8-round battle. And just everybody, man, be prepared, man, because there's going to be some fireworks this weekend, too. Yeah. And we thought this past weekend was fun with Rosado and freaking Munguia. Sorry, bro, it's just late. I mean, my brain's running at 10,000 miles an hour right now. But, yeah, I mean, if you see, I mean, there's just so much, there's so much fire right now in combat sports. I love it. And these next 3 weeks, actually this next month and a half, is going to show what combat sports is all about and what we missed last year, should I say, too. Because I'm pretty sure it's making up from last year's bullshit and COVID, and now we're getting everything we want to see.
Yeah, we definitely are, man. It's making a turn for it. And, and there was the quote, boxing is all the way back, especially, what the competition that they had against UFC on the night of the Canelo, like 15, I think it was 18 million total.
18 million gate, and then 800, well, actually a little bit more than 850,000 buys.
On pay-per-view.
Yes, at $79.99 a pop. This fight generated over $100 million with endorsements.
That's amazing.
I mean, you're talking about the cash. You're talking about a new king. Canelo's already there. This is where Mayweather was at this point in his career when this money started rolling in, when he started seeing a lot of zeros. A lot of zeros.
No, you're right, man. And yeah, dude, that's good. And I know we mentioned that, boxing is got, to us, like to us hardcore fans, like we're excited because of the how this year is going to end. But you want to make more of those numbers, high pay-per-views, like you got to actually make these cards interesting. I think so far with this year closing in, I think the Zone and Top Rank by far have probably held the best cards, from top to bottom, prelims to main card. I believe that is kind of the formula. And I got to hand it off to Eddie Hearn, because yes, he's had a couple guys lose that are top fighters, but that's him taking that risk. Yes, there's rematch clauses, with the Martinez, with the Harper versus
AJ,
Baumgartner. Yeah, there's a reason why there's rematches, because he's putting the best in with the best, and that's what happens. That's what you expect. And I believe this is being done on purpose. I think he's doing this on purpose to prove, what, even though your top number one champion lost, like people are still excited to see him fight again, or he or she.
It's a risk.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a risk. It's just like I said too. I mean, like Jared Anderson, he took a big risk in his last fight. And Top Rank took that risk too, knowing damn well what's Kovacevic that he just fought. Yeah. He was undefeated too. I mean, they're taking risks with a lot of their younger fighters. I mean, we're gonna see fighters like Jahai. I mean, We're gonna see fighters like Carlos getting into these bigger battles now that they won. Now that they keep on winning, they're just gonna keep adding up their stock.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just gonna keep seeing these fighters and these fights get named. I mean, I don't know about that fight that got announced today with King Kong and
Charles Martin.
Charles Martin. I mean, New Year's Day pay-per-view. I mean, I don't see anybody buying that one personally.
Yeah, it's again,
Messed up.
if you stack these cards, if you were to stack that card with that, because it's not a bad fight. It's not a bad fight, but it's definitely not pay-per-view. But yeah, dude, I mean, it was good finally getting on the screen with you again, and I know we've been messaging each other. Yeah, we've been going back and forth, and our plans now, like I said, is we're gonna try to do more episodes throughout the week, even if they're like short 10-15 minute breakdowns on some late breaking news, or a breakdown of what's going on. So that's our plan. More MMA, of course. Sure. More guests coming up. I know I've been in chats with some local MMA fighters here in Arizona.
Yep, and another one fighting this weekend too. Fight week, Jesus El Toro, Hermosillo fights this weekend in Phoenix. I'm gonna try and be getting him on the next couple of days here.
Yeah, try, dude.
Maybe if you can. I mean, I don't understand. It's training. It's fight week. It's training. Last training week. I understand he's gonna be busy as hell. He's been telling me this is his hardest fight to date. Against a very experienced guy coming in. So, like I said, I'll shout out to you, Toro. I mean, big ups to you. Jose Quiroz also won from Saurita, won in Florida last weekend.
Yeah, I saw that
too. So I mean, congratulations to him too. Like I said, shout out to all the kids, man, all the amateurs. I went to the Gene Lewis tournament this past weekend. I mean, we're talking from Jabby Jazz. I mean, everybody, Isaac Aguirre, Junior Camberos. I mean, all the coaches from Hector Reyes, Coach Hector Reyes, from Paul Dumerville. I mean, you as well from Boxer 101, Brawler 101. I mean, everybody that competed. Team Andrew Santana from California. It's my brother-in-law's nephew. He came out here and took second. But hey, like I said, it's just a learning curve for him. But that kid's on the way up too. So I mean, just shout out to all these kids, man, that are coming up, starting to make the future of boxing. You are the future of boxing. I don't know if you saw the picture at all on the Gene Lewis site, but there was people from all over the country that came from everywhere to fight here this past weekend. Yeah. So just keep doing what you're doing, kids. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep that head held high. Even if you lose, go to the next one. You learn, and like I said, I mean, the love that we have for you guys, I mean, just keep showing us the love you guys do for us too, man. And we really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, for sure. Signing off from Off the Ropes, Julian. It was good. We'll be talking soon, man. Have a good night, everybody.
Brother. Good night, everybody. Have a good night.